Hey kids, are you ready for nostalgia taken into overdrive?
Overdrive?
Space Invaders Extreme.
Wait, how do you take Space Invaders and bring it to extreme?
Well, let's just say that you basically make it a freaking rave party of a sort.
I was also gonna say, I saw that it looks like this game was made off the freaking Cryware engine. How do you do Crysis or Far Cry and kick it up to Space Invaders as well?
To that I couldn't begin to tell you, but basically this is to Space Invaders as Pac-Man Championship Edition is to Pac-Man. It's very flashy, very energetic, but it's also pretty much taking the fundamentals of the very original 1979/80 arcade hit, Space Invaders.
Huh.
And actually, in a way, you could also pretty much say it's also to Space Invaders that, as Tetris Effect is to Tetris.
I'm seeing that kind of, yeah. Like especially with the rhythm music thing going on here.
Yeah, like everything is pretty much in tone to the rhythm of the game. Like with how many shots you can make at a time, just the overall like. Just, look at this.
This is really nice, actually. Just it's not like too much flashing. It's just oh crap! Now they have shields. They've stolen our technology.
Yeah, the further along the level, the game you go through, you do get the harder moves, like the ones that have shields, and the others that actually send your bullets right back at you.
Dang.
Although you're not completely defenseless, as aside from your typical pew pew laser, if you manage to kill 4 aliens of the same color, you get a special perk from them. Like the blue ones give you a laser, the red ones give you like a bomb shot, and the green ones give you like I think a triple shot.
Yeah, or spread shot. Yeah,
complete spread shot.
What the? Now they're all. Oh gosh, they're swapping up on you.
Oh yeah, like just this is the whole game in general. Just a whole swarm of aliens, and they're just doing what they do best. Try to shoot you down and I guess take over the world. But you can pretty much fight them back in style.
Oh my gosh. Actually, the whole presentation of this game is reminding me a lot of another kind of Tetris game called Tetris Grandmaster.
Oh yeah, the really hard as fuck arcade game.
Yeah, the one that just goes nuts and like changes things up, but they have like different things. Like for instance, you have to play through the whole credit section. There's a part of that game where all the blocks are invisible after you place them down.
Oh, that sounds.
So you have to memorize where everything was as you place the next block.
And by that point, you're already like well above the traditional level 16.
Oh yeah,
and
past the
blocks
speed.
are just
Yeah.
dropping down like Mega Man and falling off a Gutsman stage.
Right. The only way the only way you can move blocks is like by like crab walking them over by rotating. Anyway, so
I have to give my total applause to the people that actually played that game for Games Done Quick.
Oh, no, it's incredible to me watching that. I am nowhere near that good. Anyway, so how did you come across this one?
In a matter of speaking, I actually my first major exposure to the Space Invader games. Oh, before I bring that up, time for a boss attack. Because yeah, this game has boss battles too. Obviously, you want to shoot the jewel.
Oh, okay.
Although I do know that it should already be said. Like you could already tell by like the title, but there's actually 2 games in the Extreme series, and this is the first one, which unfortunately is the only one that's on Steam for other consoles outside of like the DS or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of a shame because I honestly got. I mean, I guess to go back to what I was about to say. My first major exposure to this whole sub-series is with the sequel, which we're actually going to move into right about now.
Oh. What? So this game is actually not on anything beyond the DS.
Unfortunately, no. It's a DS exclusive.
Not even 3DS eShop? Dang.
Not even the 3DS eShop, but this was before the 3DS. But actually, yeah, about a year from now, it's literally going to be turn 10. Like, crap.
Oh, wow.
Where does the time go? But
I was gonna say these actually look really good.
Yeah, this is the one Space Invaders I have the most experience with, and well, that's why I wanted to show both versions off. Because well, the first one is actually easier to access than the sequel, but at the same time, I want to give kudos to the sequel for just it definitely shows a little more than what you have with the first game. First off, and I don't know, in a way, this is weird of me to say, but there's just a slightly better vibe with this one than the first one, especially from the announcer, who's just, well, he's having a fucking glorious time, just telling you how well you're doing.
Yeah. So, did this one you actually own physically at some point?
Pardon?
Was it this one that you actually owned physically at one point?
Yes, I did.
Nice.
Just like it's just one of those. I don't know why, but why I just decided to play this game, like get this game. Just, I mean, I've always known about Space Invaders. I mean, I never like played it like well, maybe I played the original like once, but only once. But then I see this in store shelves, and I'm like, you know what? I should give this another shot. And after playing this game, I'm like, whoa, this is nothing like I expected. And
Yeah,
I'm really enjoying it.
I mean, I've never even heard of this series, and this actually looks like something I definitely get into.
Well, hey, like I said, you can get the Steam version for about $20.
Fair enough.
And honestly, I'm hoping that it does get a Switch version, because I think a game like this would be perfect for the system.
Hey, what's that grid thing up there talking about?
What weird thing?
The thing up there was like the bingo, and it's like, oh yeah, I get that grid, the red, green, and blue grid at the top.
Oh yeah, if you get a bingo chance, you're pretty much warped to a special challenge mode, which pretty much gives you an even bigger score. But we're not going to worry about that now because we have a boss attack.
Right. Okay.
Now, unlike the original game, there's no jewels this time. Like the weak spots are obviously the glowy bits on the ship.
Okay.
Or the alien that you got to face at the time. And okay, truth be told, this was not one of my better runs. But I tried what I did and tried what I could.
Jeez, that thing looks like something out of You Don't Mess with the Guy. I want to be the guy. No, You Don't Mess with the freaking. I want to be the guy with the pixelated stuff.
I get the feeling this probably looks like it would be the boss to a game like that. Though actually, that does remind me. Kind of off topic, but have you ever heard of a weird game called Space Invaders Get Even?
Sounds like I would have read that as a title at some point in my life, but I don't believe I have. No.
Long story short, it's basically a Space Invaders in name only, where you actually get to take control of the aliens themselves, just wrecking cities as if they were their sandbox or something.
But it's not like the gameplay's nothing like it. It just happens to be, I guess, in the same franchise.
That's essentially what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
And they go for a more 3D style, which I mean, okay, granted. The aliens themselves are never in like full 3D. They still they're stylized to look pixely like this, but it's just one of those really strange ideas that pretty much fell off the face of the earth.
Okay.
But that's like I don't know. I just for some reason I was just thinking of that game because I actually did play it once for like maybe a few minutes. Actually, now that I think about it, you know what this kind of game, like going back to Extreme real quick, you know what this kind of game reminds me of as well, aside from Pac-Man Championship Edition or Tetris Effect? Luminous.
Yeah, this would not happen to have the same developer or someone like it involved.
I honestly feel like it would have been, but I don't think that's the case.
Okay.
Like this does feel like the kind of game he would make.
No, for sure. Also, this is just me personally.
I mean, outside of this, do you have any experience with like Space Invaders in general?
Yeah, and I mean, imagine who doesn't if there's like some sort of classic arcade. I think. Okay, probably kind of a dumb way to like bring it up because it's never gonna really happen again. So there was this thing that Disneyland in California did around the time that the Tron Legacy came out.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's an okay movie. The soundtrack is amazing because Daft Punk, but, you know, it's okay. So anyway, what they did was, not in Disneyland itself, but in California Adventure, the neighboring park, there's this, like, part of the Hollywood Boulevard that usually is empty, except they took that corner of the place and actually, like, dressed it all up like Flynn's Arcade from the movies. And even went as far as to get classic arcade games to have in that arcade that you could just play for free.
Oh, that's cool. So
you just show up and I remember playing, you know, good old Galaga. Mom was playing Centipede. Dad was playing Galaga. Oh, sorry, Dad was playing Donkey Kong. They even had the old classic Punch-Out on arcade set up. They had a lot of it.
Nice. I mean, granted, like the closest thing I've ever had to an experience like that is like there's this. You've probably heard of it. It's like this one little arcade shack called High Scores, where you go in there and you can either purchase like a $5 pass for like an hour or so, or you can buy a $10 pass to play arcade games all day long.
Nice.
And they always set them all to free play, so that helps too.
Yeah, that sounds like something I would know. Like I don't. I think that's honestly what arcade should be like now. I just think like I don't know how to describe it. Like I don't want to like throw any shade onto these games. But...
Basically, nobody's carrying like a shitload of quarters on their pocket anymore.
Right. That's the thing. And also like not to throw any shade on these games, but I don't think they're worth the amount of quarters that they would take to really fully play them anymore.
Well, not anymore.
Because of age-wise,
back then it was a phenomenon, but nowadays it's an antiquated market.
Right. So the whole doing it based on time and pricing it like that as a membership thing, that makes more sense to me anyway.
Hey, not a maverick.
Dang it.
I mean, granted, we are killing the living shit out of aliens, who, as far as they're concerned, we may as well be. But whatever the case, ladies and gentlemen, we're actually going to go ahead and stop there for our little mini look at on Space Invaders Extreme 1 and 2.
Space Invaders Extreme 2.
Can I also say
before the original you could practically get on just about anything.
Yeah.
Although I would honestly just stick with the Steam version, and of course Space Invaders 2, as far as I'm concerned, is only available on the DS, which is a shame, but at the same time, it was a good game for the system.
All I'm gonna say is that my goodness, those backgrounds will be distracting me.
No, right? Just I don't know. It's just one of those fun. It's one of those fun kind of games, and I really wish we got more stuff like this. I mean, again, I appreciate we got Pac-Man, we got Tetris Effect. And, well, obviously we have this, but I'm just thinking to, like, what other really old arcade games could go with this kind of style. Like, God, imagine if Donkey Kong went this route.
That would be something to see. I can see that. Yeah, we've seen modernized versions. We saw that mobile game of Galaga. We've seen the Pac-Man. So I'm trying to think if I could see Centipede doing something cool with that, maybe.
I know there was also a Cubert reboot, though. It's not quite like this. Which is a shame. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'm JamesmanXtreme.
And I'm Lucky Jack 20.
And, look out! An alien!